As I've been out doing some photography, I've been collecting images of doors, and I find myself drawn to these doors because they make you think of, doorways to another life and, all kinds of different things like that. Well, I wanted to do something with these photographs I've taken. Other than just keeping them shoved away in my computer, I do have a website where I have an album I'm going to be creating where I put these images in there in their color form. So what I have thought of is I've cropped the pictures down to just show, the door portion. And I've printed them out 2 to a page, 5 by 7 roughly. Some of them are a little bit different sizes, you'll see here in a minute, due to how I cropped the photo. So I have this Canson XL mixed media. This is good for pencils, pen, marker, acrylic, watercolor. It stands up to a lot of, abuse. A little bit thicker pages. And there are 60 sheets in here, but I have 40 images. So I will have a bit more room in here for additional doors as I find them. This is going to be a long process, just based off of what I plan to do with getting these images in there. Quick flip through of the photos that I'm going to be using. These are from, and apparently I don't have them all the right way. These are from lots of different areas. This is actually the same door. Here's where I mentioned that it's not going to be quite 5 by 7, but it should still fit. Yeah, it'll fit onto the page. And that's why I printed them this size to go in this book. I had considered a larger book, but with 1 picture per sheet, that's a lot of ink. And also with what I generally find myself doing, if I have something that seems to be a little bit on the bigger scale, I get fed up with it too soon. So if I keep it smaller, it'll be more manageable for me. And I think with that process of not having to be so tight on the details because they're smaller images, it should work for my plan. So we have a lot of these different doors. This one in particular is a real beautiful turquoise color. So when you get it loaded on the website, I will include that link in the details below. And you guys can go check out what these photos look like before I put them in black and white. All I did for the black and white was choose on my printer to do them grayscale. And if you do have stuff like Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever, you could go back in and print these all out after having adjusted them there. That bit of wiggle is my dog. He's just shifted, and his face is actually laying on the legs to the camera stand at the moment. So there's all different styles of doors. We've got, nice doors, old decrepit doors, offices, residences. A couple of them are office or big skyscraper type buildings. This one here, I don't know what happened with this. Decided it did not like the printer. This particular one here is a church. That's a front end of a very tall building. And this is also a church. So those are my images I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to proceed to cut these all up using my paper trimmer, and after I've got that completed, I will be back. Alright, so I've trimmed all my papers down, photos down to smaller sizes that are manageable with the page. And I went looking for my carbon paper, but I can't find it anywhere, so I cheated, or did another way of creating a trace. And you just scribble on the back of your paper with your pencil. And I've gone through and drawn on the main points of the photo that I want to be on my page. So I've gone around each of the boards, the bricks, and these little sections in the door. You can see that. So by doing that and pushing through, not too hard because I don't want to leave dents in the page, but you get a general light outline of, what's going on with your photo. So what I'm going to do next, and I'll just be off camera because it's easier, is to keep my photo here for reference to make sure I'm tracing or drawing it again correctly. And I'm going to come in here with some kind of pen, probably, let's see, we'll either go with one of the Micron, pick Micron pens because they're waterproof, and or maybe one of the Staedtler pigment liners. Doesn't really matter which one, just whatever one you feel comfortable with using. And then I'm going to trace back over these different elements. And then once I've gotten that finished, I'll be back. So as you can see here, I've gone through using my Micron 02 and done the line that I started with. So the next thing I will be doing is adding in probably Inktense or possibly Neocolor 2s, some kind of a watercolor or some graphite, something, not sure exactly what yet, but to add in the different shades of gray and blacks and things that are in here to get the one on the page to look like the photograph that I've taken. So continuing on with my progress here on my book of doors, that's what I'm going to be calling it now, I have finally gone out and gotten some graphite paper, and here's a piece of that. And I just tape it down to the page and I put the image on top of it like this, and then work my way around the different elements to transfer them to the paper. Another thing I found that was easier to do, instead of using a pencil on the image, which, you know, created the lines from the pencil over what you'd been doing, kind of obscured some of the details that maybe I needed to see, I switched over to using an embossing stylus. The tips on these are quite, on this particular one, this end piece is very small and easy to use, and then if there's a wider line I want to create, I can use this side. And I found that that worked out a lot easier for me doing all these transfers of lines. So I've gotten about 20 of them done so far, I think. You know, all of these have been added to the book, and I'll give you a quick flip so far. I did start doing some of the shading on the first image, as you can see here, in these areas, and I believe I was using the Stabilo All pencil at that particular time. I decided I wanted to go through and get all of the images into the book first before coming back through and working on all the detail. So just a quick flip through these images. Also, once I went through with the pen to put the details on the page, I was going back through using an eraser to remove the graphite lines, and I still have a few pages that need to do that on. Some of the details I did not do in pen because I want them to be created using the Stabilo or the Inktense or something like that, but the item that needs to be in the photo is in that location. This is like a door stopper. Didn't want the actual line with the pen there. So some of them are oriented differently, such as this one. This was a workshop auto place, something like that. It was closed down, so no information about that. In this particular one, I've got some of the lines over here on the side that I have not gone on with the pen yet. Same as the other details. I didn't want them penned in, but they needed to be on there for reference. So different doors all over. Some actually had some words in the tile work in the front. Like I said before, these are residences and churches and office buildings, all kinds of interesting styles of doorways. And where the photo cut off parts of the top, that doesn't bother me. I'm not working on making sure that the entire, you know, full edge portion is showing on every single one. Some of them will just kind of you know, fade off into the distance type thing. Like this one here, that part of the buildings has been cut off just by the way the photo's gotten cropped, so I may or may not include that. And this one's got a couple different sets of bars. And this one, obviously, I still need to come in and do the ink work on. This is just the graphite transfer portion. And there we have it. So I have quite a few more to still put in here. We have all of these ones I'm still working on adding. And actually, I think yesterday or the day before, I went out exploring a little bit, and got a few more photos that I might print off and put in here, because I do believe I said I had 40 something to begin with, and this has 60 pages, so I've got room for 20 or so more to put in. So I will continue working on getting these line work added in and the inking done, and in the next video I will start showing how I'm working on the shadow and shading and stuff for each of the pages. I might do a couple videos showing me working on that. I might just do a flip of completed or half completed or whatever progress I have made at that particular point, and to show you what's going on. So I hope you have enjoyed the bit of information that I'm given so far on this project, and I hope you come back to watch the more details about it as I go along. If you're not already a subscriber, you can do so by hitting that subscribe button down below, and you'll be notified of future videos that I put up. And please like and share, and feel free to comment. I'd love to interact with the viewers and answer any questions you may have. So thanks for watching. Bye.